left my hydro flask in the freezer and it froze shut. I vacuum sealed hydration device. Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and well, that's pretty much it. So let's go.
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into our Fearless Beer Review. We get into the vinyl stuff we picked up, stuff we've been listening to, stuff we're going to possibly purge. That leads into the songs of the week, and then we wrap it up with some new music and other happenings in the music world. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars and 5 stars only. Please go do that. And that's all I got for the boring intro. So let's get right into our Fearless Beer Review. What do you got? What do we have today, Jeff?
I was trying to get Old English, but the gas station by my house didn't have it, so I had to settle for a Mickey's.
Mickey's Big Mouth.
Yeah, Mickey's something. Sure. Not looking forward to this one though.
Yeah, I got an Old English, 800 malt liquor, and yeah, I mean it's in theme because of the album that we're doing today. So that's why I got this one, and yeah, I haven't had an Old English in at least 10 years, so I'm not really looking forward to this either. But I guess we'll put it to bed after this, you know, if we're ever gonna drink this again.
I would never.
So.
I haven't had Mickey since I turned 21. Like, why would I drink shit beer? But now that I'm 21, I can just buy nice beer. But who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Maybe I'll be coming back around again.
Yeah, maybe come back around again. Did we just both sing Rage?
Yes, sir, we did.
Stupid. All right, so I cracked mine open.
You know
I don't even want to smell it. I'm not even going to smell it.
It smells warm.
Oh,
it just smells warm. Like it smells like it's been sitting in the sun for fucking 3 days.
Ooh, gosh, I'm not. Well, yeah, I'm drinking mine out of the can, so I just feel like it's going to be worse if I pour it into a glass. So.
Are you gonna finish it no matter what? I mean, it was only
it's 2 beers.
$2.75. It was cheap.
Oh, mine not over here. This is like $4.50.
Damn. Yeah, mine was like I think it was $2.50 plus tax. It was like $2.75 or $2.80 or something like that.
Well, that's it's Arizona compared to Florida, right?
That's a cheap dinner, dude.
Florida, fucking Arizona.
You're in Florida now?
California.
That's cool.
Dude, I can't even. I don't know. What's pot talking's hard. Anyway, let's start this.
Okay,
Let's
go.
Here we go. I mean, okay, all right, okay. So we're gonna rate these beers based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect beer, 2 is a good beer you're gonna continue to drink, 1 is a bad beer but give it a shot, and 0 is a drain pour. So what do you give your Mickey's Big Mouth?
It's not nearly as disgusting as I thought it was gonna be. It's not good. I don't really enjoy this. I will probably drink about half of it and then drain pour the rest as it warms even more. But it's not gross. I'm not going to vomit. I'm not going to barf this up.
Okay. Yeah. I feel the same way about mine because mine doesn't have a lot of taste.
Mine neither.
There's really not. What?
Mine neither. Like I don't really get any kind of anything, to be honest. I get like the malty kind of like aroma, but I don't get any. There's no bitterness. There's no fruit things going on. It's just kind of like malt liquor, but even like a light version of it.
Yeah, there's almost like a bite at the end, like you know when you drink vodka and you get that little, like, it's not even like a bite, but it's like that flat taste after you drink vodka, like a shot of vodka.
Yeah,
that's what I get from this Old English at the end of it. That flat taste, but the beer's not flat. But yeah, dude, there's really not much flavor here. Like when we did, a couple years ago, we both got what is it, the Miller High Lifes, and that has a lot of flavor. I mean, it's not a good flavor, but it has a lot of flavor, and that's what I was expecting with this Old English. So, yeah, man, this is Okay, so what do you rate your Mickeys? What do you rate your Mickeys?
I don't even know because it's not gross or bad, but like I don't like this. I don't enjoy this. So I think like a 1. This is a 1. Like you should definitely try this. Maybe even higher than a 1 because you should come back to it every maybe 10, 15 years to see how much you've changed, how much the beer's changed, whatever. Maybe it's just not as gross to us as much as we thought it would be because we have a more appreciation for beer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were 20 so. and all we had was we had 4 different kinds of beers under our belt at 20. So, this one's like the shittiest thing we've ever drank. But now we have like 4,000 beers under our belt. Maybe this is, I don't know, better.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst beer I've had. Definitely not the worst beer. My Old English. What's the ABV on the Mickeys?
It's like 5.5. Nothing. It's garbage.
Is it? Yeah, mine's 7.5.
Worthless.
Yeah, mine's 7.5. But it says on Beer Advocate the Old English is 5.9. So that's lying. But yeah, I don't know. I do like about the Old English. I do like the label. It's very like 60s, 70s, like orange couch, brown couch. Like they never changed up the label, and I like that.
I mean, the Old English label looks like
cigarettes.
Yeah,
it makes me think of cigarettes. It
looks like either somebody's putting their butts in there, or you find it like when you're walking home and somebody pissed in it and threw it in the bushes. Like that's all I equate that bottle to. The E on the old, so like old with the E on it. So cheap. Who makes Old English?
So I looked it up. Miller brews both Old English and Mickeys.
Yeah,
so it's Miller.
Dang, yeah, because Mickey's been around since the 60s.
I'm sure this has too. Actually, I'm curious. When did Old English? 1964. Yeah, so they probably started around the same time.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, I know the liquor store by my actual house. They have like the 40 ounces of Old English, Mickeys, and all that shit. Oh. But they're plastic bottles. They're not even glass. They're fucking plastic.
That's how you know it's good, baby.
Plastic twist off bottles, man.
It's funny because I'm in a more predominantly like white area over here. So I went to the liquor store and asked the guy if they had Old English. He was like, "No, like we don't know. Nobody buys that here." And so I was like, damn. So I had to settle for a Mickey's. But I do know that where I came from in Southern California, a little more diverse. That the liquor store just down the street from my house had a lot of various degrees of malt liquors available.
Oh yeah, the whole bottom row.
It's always the bottom row. It's always the bottom row too. Here they just had Mickey's, then Steel Reserve, and then one other one too. I can't remember what it was.
Yes. King Cobra?
No King Cobra.
Oh man, that King Cobra, that's a beer that has a lot of flavor, but not good. Like the Miller High Life. Ooh, man. Oh, and there was that. Did you ever go to that bar in Costa Mesa, where the lab was? You've been to the lab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that bar, and they had King Cobras at the bar there. It was like a fancy bar too, but you could buy a 40 of King Cobra for like $8 or something like that at the bar. And I did that once, and I drank the whole thing, and I was so sick.
That's disgusting. The lab was I used to go there with David. I don't remember his last name, but he looked like Falcor from Never Ending Story.
Yeah,
David Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a brief phase of mine when I was buying expensive clothes, and I was buying these, not like Bathing Ape brand, but expensive clothes like that, because he bought that stuff, and like Onitsuka Tigers, $150 pair of shoes, and the lab was like the last time I bought a nice piece of clothing, because it's like the anti-mall, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a mall for people that hate malls, but it's across the street from actually a nice mall, and the lab was just lab's dumb. I hate that place.
Yeah, it is stupid. It just being a hyper local podcast right now, but that's fine.
I don't give a fuck.
But damn, yeah, there was like maybe a year or two where you dressed like kind of fancy. Yeah, kind of fancy, man. You wore nicer clothes, shoes, and there was that time.
It was when I started serving instead of being a busser at the restaurant. I think it had to have been Fridays, like the tail end of my Fridays days before I went to Dave & Buster's. So like as a busser, I'm making, $80 a night. Now I'm serving and I'm making almost $200 a night, and still living at home. So I'm working 4 or 5 days a week. I'm making, $500 a week just in untaxed tips. Oh, I claimed all those tips there, dude. Hold on.
Better watch what you say, dude. Well,
I've claimed all my tips there, dude.
They're listening, dude.
Yeah, I think it's just a surplus of money, and then I thought, I might as well buy nice clothes, and I hated every moment of it.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's. I give my Old English a 1 out of 3 as well. Just try it once, just to say you have. Now I'm curious. Skip, are these two beers in Britland? I need to know.
Old
if
English.
they are, have you had the Old English? It's kind of funny that it is Old English, but I'm curious if it's even over there.
Probably what is like the Britland equivalent of shitty kind of like low tier working class malt liquor?
Stella. Isn't that the wife beater beer or something like that?
Oh yeah, that's what he said. The wife beater beer.
Yeah.
Was he saying like wife beater, like whoever it was, like beat their wife, or just the clothing article? That's what we call like tank tops as wife beaters because.
No, it was literally like beating your wife.
Well, that's not that funny. So
yeah,
ruin that mood.
Seriously. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to vinyl stuff we've listened to, stuff we picked up, stuff we're gonna purge. Maybe I don't know. So what do you got, Jeff? Go.
This is all I pretty much went through. Almost all of my dead family stuff in the past 2 weeks since we kind of like laid on the pod a couple of times. But yeah, I listened to pretty much everything I have, including side projects, live stuff. And so what I did was I just went through all the studio albums and I just picked a song for you to listen to. Yeah. And here we go. You ready?
Oh yeah, and actually, while you're listening to the podcast, if you want to listen to the songs as we talk about them, there is a link to the Spotify playlist in the description of this episode, so you could go to that, listen to the song, pick up where you left off on the pod if you want to follow along. So go do that. But let's go with your Grateful Dead.
And I'll just there's 10 of them. They have more than 10 albums, but the other ones I just don't like. Even less than some of these ones. So I'll just give a couple sentences. That's it. If you want to know more, if you have any questions, you can ask me. We'll go into it. Otherwise,
if you have any questions,
comments, concerns, you let me know. But they're self-titled, Dead, Grateful Dead's. Their first album, 1967. This was an album that was sort of a compromise from what the Dead wanted and what Warner Brothers thought would sell. So like the bones are here, but there's not a lot of meat. It's very, very lean. These songs, they wanted them to be longer. They wanted to be more experimental. But Warner Brothers was like, nah, ain't going to happen.
Is that the Cold Rain and Snow, that one?
That was, no.
Wait.
No,
that song?
No, yeah, it was.
So are you going in order of the playlist right now?
Yeah. Which is also the order of their releases. So yeah,
it is. Okay.
Cold Rain and Snow was from their first one. That song should have been longer. They've done it longer. But that the version that you heard would be 2.5 minutes.
So going through, because I listened to like the first 4 songs in their entirety, and then at that point, after that I just started skimming through the songs. But I actually kind of really like the first 2 songs on here.
Oh,
so Cold Rain and Snow, and then That's It for the other one, parts 1 through 4.
Okay.
I kind of liked it. I mean,
okay.
Jerry's vocals they weren't as grating to me as they normally are. But there are some good guitar moments, man. And skimming through some of it, I don't know. I'm not becoming a deadman. I'm not getting to that point yet, but it's growing a little bit. There's the seeds growing a little bit. So
getting a little more appreciative.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah, a little more appreciative of that.
Dude, that first album is so goddamn good. It's just so fucking perfect. It's such a, like, you could tell they tried to make like this pop rock album of the late 60s, that was trying to like compete with like the Hendrixes, because that stuff's kind of poppy. But you could clearly hear these guys were just LSD taking psychedelic kids that wanted just to write the craziest fucking shit. But Warner Brothers was like, no fucking way that's gonna happen. No way. So I like that. I really like the first album. I have an OG first press of it. The jacket's really beat up, but the vinyl plays quiet and nice. Just want to throw that out there. So yeah, second album, Anthem of the Sun, 1968. I think this is kind of like their true first album. This one is at their most experimental I think they've ever been. The way they cut this record is just absolutely fucking ridiculous, and just shows like how much they just love to do their own thing and don't fucking care. Because half of this album is taken from like studio recordings, and the other half is taken from live recordings that they were doing at the time. They've already started to get, promotional things and go on tour a lot, and people loved them. And so they're cutting tapes from the live performances and splicing them in with the studio performances because they're like certain aspects better than the other one. But then the studio wouldn't really pay him, or the label wouldn't pay him enough money to go into the studio for a proper record, and you spend 500 hours or whatever they wanted in there. So that was Anthem of the Sun. And then you said you liked the first two songs, right? So you also liked this one.
The first three. The first two I liked more than the rest, but the third one was good too. The Dupree's Diamond Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for this one I chose That's It for the other one, right? Like 7 minutes.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's a longer song.
So like this one's cool, and like the more you get into the Dead, the more you can kind of tell what's going on here. So this one is like 4 different parts to it, and each part was written by kind of a different person in the band, and kind of presents a different part of the band. So 2 of the parts are instrumentals, but it kind of goes from a Jerry Garcia, kind of like his typical style, and then it goes into like a more bluesy thing that was written for some of the more bluesy guys, including Bob Weir. And then it goes into more of like a drum focused, but also still melodic thing. And this one's really cool. I love it. I love this album so much. I think it's fantastic. Check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Third album, Oxomoxoa. This is the first album that I listened by the Dead, because when my mom gave me the records from her friend that subsequently died, I think. This is what started for me. This is what got me into the Dead. This is the first thing I heard because the cover's fucking cool, and I was like, "What the hell is Oxomoxoa mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's just one of those words that's spelled the same forward and backwards, and it sounds cool and looks cool and fucking cool. I don't know, but this is them at like their full like psych sound. They just went full send with it. But there's a lot of playfulness here. These guys just mesh incredibly well now at this point. They got another songwriter to help pull everything together, and I think this sounds perfect. Absolutely perfect.
That's
every way, shape, and form. Perfect.
Okay.
That's okay.
So, which one? Because I've listened to several live records of theirs, and they're fine. They're just I don't know. Nothing's connected with me. I've listened to Oxomoxoa, whatever that stupid record's called.
Oh,
I've listened to Working Man's Dead. I've listened to that one.
I know you don't like that one.
I didn't like that one. So what would you recommend?
Listen to this one. Listen to this one. Listen to Anthem of the Sun.
Oxomoxoa or whatever?
Oxomoxoa. Listen to this one.
Oxomoxoa.
Listen to Anthem of the Sun. And then listen to Live Dead. Live Dead was their first. Record. Yeah. But like, I think if you listen to Anthem of the Sun, Oxomoxoa, because Live Dead came after Oxomoxoa, and that was like their first official live released album. And it did so well. And that's when we hear Dark Star kind of for like the first time on record. And it's a 25-minute song. It takes the entire side of the record, and it's just you can hear them play. You can go in and out of what they're doing, and you can kind of tell at some points they want to go a little bit faster, a little bit slower, and so you hear like Phil Lesh kind of like go a little bit quicker on the bass, but then stop, and then you'll hear like Jerry go a little bit quicker on the guitar, and then you're like, okay, now they know. They both know exactly where they're going, and then they'll do it. It's just, dude, it's unfucking real. Like, it's unreal. All in the course of like 6 seconds, they do this.
Okay,
it's good shit. Good shit.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, dude, I'm just getting excited just talking about it here. I might do it all again. I might go through all my Dead stuff again. Oh my God. I listen to so much. It's crazy. There was a point too, I was like, God, I listen to a lot of fucking Grateful Dead shit. Should I stop? Nah. Then I was playing Zelda too. Oh. All right. Working Man's Dead. This is the one you just don't like. This is my personal favorite record by them. This is, what is this, 1970, their fourth album, 1970. They recorded this in 9 days, and it was just kicking it back to where the Dead came from prior to even their first. Like these guys came from the Americana folk scene. This is just easy peasy, just great fucking songs.
Okay.
One of the biggest songs, Casey Jones, is from this, right? Riding that train, high on cocaine. Like everybody knows that fucking song. It's a good song.
I don't know that song.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know that song.
You 100% do know that song.
I even had this album and I purged it.
I know, that's stupid. I think you got it for like $1 too, like something so
I know,
it was
so cheap.
So annoying.
No, you're thinking of the live record from Nichols.
You get that for $7.
That's true. Well, you got me the Working Man's Dead.
I think I just gave you this one because I wanted you to listen to it so bad. Okay. All right. Well, that's also a perfect record, but that's fine. The next one, American Beauty, their fifth one. This is kind of furthering the Americana sound. This one's got way more harms than Working Man's Dead, and is kind of focused more on the writing and just like writing more melodic songs. But these songs are essentially as catchy as Casey Jones, with just more complex instrumentals. And this is the last album to feature Pigpen, one of the original members who died a couple years after this.
He was the drummer, right?
He was like the harmonica player, but he was like the blues guy. He brought so much blues to this band. And after he was gone, they really never got back to kind of like this era of the Dead. And most people think, I don't, but most people think that Working Man's Dead and American Beauty, that is the golden year or two for the Dead. Like that is them at their best. While it's really, really good, I think like instrumental wise, they peaked in the late 70s, early 80s. I think they finally knew what they were doing. They meshed well. They cut down the drugs a lot. So that was like instrumental wise their best. But this era of the Dead's just songwriting is fantastic, really good. So
Sorry, I was trying to. My mic was doing something weird, so I had to.
Mic's doing something weird. I don't know which one did I picked Truckin' on this one, right? Truck. She's drunkin'.
Yeah, you picked Truckin' on this
one. That one's sung by Bob Weir. That song's so good.
It was good. It was. I mean, that was one of the songs I skimmed through.
That's okay. All right, that's fine.
It was good. It was good.
Okay. Moving on.
There was nothing bad about any of these songs. It's just I don't know if I would ever really go back to any of them.
It's a band like you just can't get on the first try. You can't. There's too much here. There honestly is just too much here. And even like now, like I'm not that big of a Deadhead. I've only been doing it for a couple of years. But every time I listen to some of these, especially the live ones, there's like, oh shit, I never even fucking heard that before. That's weird. Can't believe they did that. And now I'm getting more familiar with these songs. So when I listen to different live recordings of them and they do something different, I'm anticipating a certain transition or I'm anticipating a certain solo to go somewhere, and it goes someplace like completely different. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is amazing. This is cool. I like it.
Okay. All right.
I like it a lot. Wake of the Flood, the sixth album, 1973. This is the first album without Pigpen, but now we have Keith and Donna Godchaux. These two people. Keith is this is very jazz influenced. A lot of keyboards. I purged this one. I just don't like it. I think it's too jazzy in a way that I just don't want to hear. And there should be people singing. I don't want.
Is this the Here Comes the Sunshine?
Oh yeah,
Here Comes Sunshine. Yeah,
that's the only song on this album that I think is even like worth it for me. I do like it, but it's kind of fucking goofy.
It's a cool cover though. I do like that cover.
The farmer pulling weed or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, but like the background, the font, the colors. I like that. do like that one.
It's all right. Whatever. I don't care. I purged this one. I don't like it. From the Mars Hotel, 7th, 1974. This is the beginning of the Wall of Sound era. Dude, this whole Wall of Sound thing is just bonkers for this band. This band has so many dumb things about them. I love it. But the Wall of Sound was just this. It is a wall of speakers, amplifiers, speakers, just to be as loud as fucking possible. And their sound guy, one of their sound guys, Bear Osley, who's one of the biggest suppliers of LSD on the West Coast, he would make it so that Phil Lesh's bass, each string was hooked up to a different amplifier. So his bass had 4 different amplifiers for each string.
That's insane. That's ridiculous.
And it was all going into like a separate set of speakers. So like each amplifier was into like 2 or 3 different speakers for one string. So it just Phil alone had like fucking 9 or 12 speakers just for him, just to get a sound. And it's just, I don't know like how much it made a difference in the sound quality, but that's cool. I love that.
I would imagine it would make the sound quality worse.
I mean,
right?
I listened to a lot of bootlegs from this era. People like, because the Dead were very open. Like, hey, if you want to record us, you can plug in. We'll have a separate like a mixer that fans can just plug into, and then just share it with each other. And the Dead were very open about it. And I've heard a lot of bootlegs from this era. And damn, they sound good. Like you hear live recordings sometimes that are untouched up and it just sounds like complete shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even when they're kind of professionally done, like they're always getting touched up. But you hear just unencumbered bootlegs from this era, and it's like, dude, that sounds fucking good. So, for whatever that's worth. But this one has Scarlet Begonias on it, right? You know Scarlet Begonias.
I don't know that song, no.
Oh my God, duh.
I don't know it. I'm not.
Dude, how do you know not? Do you know anything?
I know nothing.
Dude, Sublime did a fucking cover of it.
Really? What?
You didn't
What
even
album?
listen to it. You didn't even fucking listen to this stuff. That's what happened here. You got caught
Oh,
listening to them.
No, I already told you I skimmed through like the last 4 or 5 songs.
It was on 40 Ounces of Freedom. That's when they did it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My least favorite Sublime record too. So there's that.
It's still perfect, but that's fine.
Well, that's true. It is.
All right, so whatever. Blues for Allah, their eighth one. Going to. Dude, their eighth record. The first record came out in 1967. We're already at 1975. They have 8 records down and like a shit ton of live stuff. So the eighth record, this has my favorite Dead song, Crazy Fingers. That's the one I put on the playlist for you to listen to. That is bar none, hands down my favorite Grateful Dead song. I love it. But this album's cool because there's a bunch of like instrumentals here. A lot of it's inspired by like Middle Eastern themes and tones. So it's not quite in the front, but the more you listen to it and kind of pick up on things, you say, oh yeah, this one is based off of this kind of like Middle Eastern scale, and you can hear it. Like Miserloo, that Dick Dale song, that's like a Middle Eastern scale, but that's like right in the front, like you know what the sound is. Here they're buried a little bit, a little more complex, a little more nuanced.
So all this talking about the Grateful Dead, I want to go back and listen to all this. Like I want to go back, re-listen to the podcast and listen to these songs because I didn't have enough time to listen to them today. You gave me this playlist.
That's true.
Like
I give it to you
2 hours before we started the podcast.
I give you a 3-hour playlist 2 hours before we did it.
Yes. So it's 45 minutes, but that's fine. I get what you're doing.
I'm trying to be helpful to you, but okay.
I know, but anyway, whatever. I do want to check out these songs and dive deeper into them because you put them on here for a reason, and I will take a deeper dive into it this week.
I really do God, man. Every time I listen to this band, I just love them even more.
Okay, that's fine. It's good. I'm glad.
Next one.
It's like me with the Smashing Pumpkins. Every time I listen to them, I like them more and more.
Yeah. Those are words, dude. Terrapin Station, their 9th album, 1977. I purged this one too. People love this fucking album so much. I don't quite get it. They use a lot of horns and orchestral stuff on this one. And they just don't need it. They have 2 fucking drummers, right? 2 guitarists, bass player. Like there's a whole lot of sound going on. You don't need more fucking people here. You already have a full stage. There's no room to walk around. So I don't know why they're doing this. This just sounds very prog rock of this era, but not like the cool prog rock. This is like the little bit more obnoxious, jazzier kind of prog rock. It's like, okay. I don't care.
I've seen this record several times in the wild.
It's always like $20-$30.
Yeah, I've seen this one quite a bit with the turtles in the train station.
It's a cool cover. I like it. It's goofy, silly. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. Seen better.
Shakedown Street, this is the last one I'll talk about. They do have other ones after this, but I don't care. But Shakedown Street, this is their 10th album, 1978. This one gets made fun of a lot because, there's funk here, there's some pop rock here, there's some like roots rock stuff, but essentially this is their disco album. And I like it. I do like me some disco. So I do like this one. I like this one a lot.
God damn. I mean,
this
you
always
do
gets like shitty reviews and like lists of their best albums. This one is never ever in like the top fucking 7 or 8.
Because disco sucks, dude. It's like it's just not good.
There's not a disco album. It's just a very disco inspired album. There's a lot of disco beats here, and like your favorite song of all time, dude, is kind of a disco
song. It's
a
disco beat. I know.
So like when you incorporate disco, that's fucking cool. But it can be
really cool.
But you can't be disco. And that's it. That was 10 records. They do have
10 records.
They do have, Go to Heaven, and then they have In the Dark, which has Touch of Grey, their most popular song. And then they have the Dylan and the Dead, and then Without a Net, I think, or Built to Last. I don't remember the other ones. I don't have them though. I will say that Bob Dylan in the Grateful Dead matchup was fucking terrible. Oh, it was so bad.
Was that a bootleg? Right?
No, that was a release.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds terrible.
Release.
That sounds horrendous.
Some of the tracks were it's like a live thing they did. Some of the tracks were recorded at the Anaheim Stadium, Angel Stadium, in like the 80s.
That's weird. Oh, and it's like neither of them were really in their prime. Yeah, so that's
no.
Yeah, that sounds really lame.
It was horrendous.
All right.
Yeah, that was
that's
it,
all you
dude.
got.
Look at that. The Grateful Dead in 15 minutes.
Grateful
Wow.
Dad. Grateful Dad.
My mom is Grateful Dad.
Okay. That's it for the Grateful Dad. And I'm going to say right now, I'm not going to finish this Old English. I'm going to put it away.
I was just thinking that too. Wait, what do you mean to put it away?
No, I'm not going to put it away. I'm going to put some saran wrap on it and put it back in the fridge. But no, I'm not going to do that.
I'm half down with the Mickeys. I'm over it. Like I want something. Like we're doing a pot. I don't want to fucking choke this down.
Exactly. I got almost halfway through, and I'd rather drink a buddy. I got some buddies here, so that's what I'm going to drink, and I'm going to try to have a good time doing that. So, goodbye, Old English. Hello, Budweiser.
It's been fun,
my old friend. So, anyway,
real,
let's move on.
Fun.
What?
It's been real. It's been fun, but it has not been real fun.
That's true. That's true.
Didn't
Okay.
think that was fun,
Anyway.
huh? Okay.
Anyway. 0-2.
0-2.
So I got 3 things here, including my pick of the week, and we'll start with a 7-inch I got this week from Blink-182. I got They Came to Conquer Uranus. This is their second EP from 1996. That's what it says on Discogs, and there's no wiki for it, so it only says it on Discogs. But then if you look on the 7-inch on the back, it says 1995. So I'm a little confused. Picked up the 7-inch on Discogs, and it was the cheapest I've actually ever seen it. $20 plus shipping and tax. But the guy ended up refunding me the shipping and tax because he said he thought he was a couple days late shipping it, and I didn't argue with him, so he refunded me. So I paid $20 flat for it. Perfect. Cool little gray silver variant. Great condition. I mean, there's no issues with the little jacket that it comes in. The record plays through flawlessly. No surface noise from what I heard. And I played it pretty loud too. And no, it's solid, man. I mean, the song Waggy, that was on Dude Ranch. The other 2 songs, Wrecked Him and Zulu, are only on this EP, and they're good songs. I wouldn't say they're like not even top 30 or 40 Blink songs, but
Zulu was definitely not a top 30 or 40 Blink song.
It's not. But they're still good, and it's cool to have this. My Blink collection is almost complete. I'm almost there. Yeah, and if you don't know, I mean, this is like in between Cheshire Cat and Dude Ranch. And it has that kind of rawness of Cheshire, but a little bit more focus of like Dude Ranch. It's really, you could tell it's the EP between it. Like, it's like, I would almost compare it to like All Hallows EP from AFI. Like that transition into, or outside of Black Sails into Art of Drowning. It's perfect. Good about it.
It's good. I would buy it. If I saw it for that cheap, I would have bought it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So this has been on my want list forever, and or since we started collecting, I think it's been on my want list.
There's
I've
so
never
many
seen it
fucking
drop this
different
low.
variants too of that thing.
Yeah, there's like 30 different variants. It's stupid, but none of them are ever cheap. So there you go. Got it. Stoked about it. The next thing I got here is the Claypool Lennon Delirium. Their second album, South of Reality. I have their first record already. Picked this one up from Double Nickels out in Arizona when I was in Arizona 2 weeks ago, whenever I was out there. Mm-hmm. And good price, cheaper there than it is on Discogs. What is his name? Mike at Nickels?
As always, baby.
Mike, man, he hooks it up. I don't know why he prices everything as low as he does, but I love it. Not complaining at all. And I've always thought their first record, the Monolith of Phobos, their first record is much better. But listening to this record again for the first time in a long time, this record's fucking solid. It is really good. There's some really cool moments on this record. I think I put, what song did I put? Did I make you listen to?
It was like some fucking 8-minute song.
it was like a long, I think it was Amethyst, whatever. I don't remember the name of the song. But yeah, so got that one. Great record. There's some ring wear on it, but fuck, who cares? And it's a really cool variant too. It's like this like 4-colored splatter. It's like a perfect variant for this record. All different colors. It's fucking rad. So got that one. And then the last thing here, you picked this up for me from your guys at your guy and gal at Rock This Town Records. Mm-hmm. The new Avenged Sevenfold record, Life Is But a Dream. And at this point, this is my album of the year. Like, this record this record is phenomenal. It is, man. I never get tired of it. I've listened to this record probably a dozen times since it came out, and I have not got tired of it. Like, it's still so exciting. It's like it's a, I don't want to say it's a perfect like prog metal album, but it's damn close. It's damn close. I mean, you're going one way, and then on a dime, man, they just switch to something else, and you're like, dude, what the fuck just happened? But it worked perfectly.
Well, even just after this song, he starts to sing, and it's like typically that's the type of singing that we fucking hate and can't stand because it sounds like shit, and it's really not that good. But he kind of embraces like the campiness of it.
Yeah,
and I like that. That's cool. It's a good record.
It's a really good record. Yeah. So what did I make you listen to? I can't even find the playlist. G. Yeah.
Yeah. G. The beginning.
No, it was G. Yeah, it's one of the later songs on the record. But yeah, it's all over the place, man. It's you definitely gotta you have to give this record multiple listens to really absorb what's going on, because it's more layered than most people would give him credit for, I feel. So
you also didn't ask me what I thought about the Claypool song, so
that's true. I didn't. So what did you think of it?
It's too long and boring. Nothing happened. That's it.
Okay. All right.
I don't get that. I don't understand.
But see, not all of their songs sound like that. It's just one of their slower ones. There are like faster, a bit heavier psychedelic songs on the record too.
We don't have to be. You can still be slow and go someplace. I just don't think it went anywhere. I don't think nothing really happened.
That's fine. So I don't know. Whatever. Okay. It's good. Avenged Sevenfold. You bought this on vinyl too. I know you really like this record.
See, it's fucking good. It sounds so good when you played it like loud. It's just so obnoxious. I love it.
What I love about this record, and then the last record too. I think their last record was called The Stage, and that was the first one they did with Brooks Wackerman. And the production and the mix on these two records is so different than other rock and metal records that have come out over the last I would say 10 years. Because you could hear everything so perfectly, so crisp. There's so much room, if that makes sense. Like it's this record and The Stage. There's never like a wall of sound. There's never just like where the snare takes up the entirety of the song, or the kick drum takes up the entirety of the song. Much like a lot of metalcore bands sound like right now, especially like Atreyu. Like modern Atreyu is hot garbage. It's fucking terrible. And it's because I feel just the mix and the production is just so electronic and fake sounding, and just it's gross. But I love the sounds on this record. I think Brooks' snare drum on this, the crack on it is almost perfect. Chef's kiss.
Good.
It's fucking great, man.
I think they fully embrace kind of like the goofiness of, which even I don't think they actually do. I think. I don't know. After seeing the poster that they sent to us from the record label, and they're all standing outside in jeans, shirtless, and it's just nobody's smiling. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be campy and goofy. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't even know.
I think they've become a band over the last several years where they've embraced the goofiness of what they used to do. Like now it's become this kind of satire of the scene, of the old scene, or of just metal in general, because metal's so serious. So I feel like I think they're fucking around. I don't think they're being serious.
I hope they're fucking around, because they are fucking around, and they just made a perfect fucking around album.
Yeah, seriously, this is something special. And I will say it, and I don't give a fuck. Brooks Wackerman, his drumming with this band is better than the Rev on those first 4 or 5 records. Brooks is a better drummer, both I think technically and also from a songwriting perspective. I think Brooks is a better drummer than the Rev was. And the Rev was fucking amazing. Okay. But damn, dude, Brooks kills it. And this is hands down my favorite Avenged record. Like this record is so fucking good. Okay. So go check it out.
The Rev has songwriting credits on this album too.
Brooks does?
No, the Rev.
Oh, he does. I did read that, huh? Was it this record? I thought it was The Stage. Okay.
Yeah, it was Life. Life is but a dream. Dumb album title too.
Yeah, it is pretty stupid. The cover is really cool, though. I really like the cover. But anyway, let's move on. That's all I got for the vinyls.
Yeah.
So there's a few songs. No albums came out this week that I feel are worth talking about. But some songs I do want to talk about. This first one here, I kind of even want to play it on the I'm not going to play it on the podcast.
Can't play on the podcast. That's how we get in trouble.
I know, but this band is they're such a small band. They're not even signed. But anyway, I'm not going to play it.
Rules are rules, Tyler. Rules are not
rules
meant
are
to be
rules.
broken.
That's true. So this band, I think I discovered them on TikTok. They're called Winona Fighter, and this song is called "Hams in a Glass," like Hams beer, HAMMS, Hams in a Glass. They're a young group, probably early 20s. They have one EP out and this song, and this song, oh my god, dude, I am so obsessed with this song right now. It's fucking great.
It was something else for sure.
My god.
It took me. It hit me off. It caught me off guard the first time. I was like, I don't know if I fucking like this. It's weird, but I kind of like it. I don't know. And the more you listen to it, the more you realize that it's not just like good. It actually is like really, really great. It's wild. It's fucking wild. It
is, man. Like the guitar riff isn't like anything crazy, but it's really good. It's like really good driving riff. The background vocals, the harmonizing, because she has like the lead singer, she has kind of like obviously a little bit higher of a voice, and then the guys in the band bring that deeper sound, so their harmonizing I think it's perfect for her. Absolutely perfect. And the chorus is so fucking catchy. That breakdown, I think that's one of the coolest. I just love that breakdown so much.
She's so aggressive too in there too.
She is.
She's so aggressive.
And just because she's built, it's that very, very short build that she does. Which say I'm not. What did she say? I'm not okay, or
it kind of it starts off slow, right? It's like do. And I don't know.
Yeah. So she builds a little bit, and then she kind of like screams a little bit, and then there's this pause, no music, and then she just lets out this like such a pissed off scream, but it's really quick. It's like I can't even explain it. It's perfect. It's absolutely fucking perfect. The passion in this song, they just absolutely nailed it. And it just sounds so pure and just so like they didn't fuss over this song. It's incredible. And I looked this band up, like live videos and shit, and dude, their live shows look like a blast. You know, they're playing like these little festivals, like South by Southwest and shit like that, like in the smaller tents, and like people are showing up and packing these tents, and they're just they're going nuts. The crowd is going nuts. Not like Turnstile crazy, but dude, I would love to go see them. Like if they come by Orange County here, I'm definitely gonna go see them. I'm really impressed by just this song.
Yeah, I would see them too.
Like the EP has like 3 songs, I think, and the songs are fine. Those songs they're fine, but this song, "Hams in a Glass," just takes it to another level, and I cannot sing its praises more. It's fucking incredible. Everybody go listen to it. Winona Fighter, "Hams in a Glass."
Good.
Get into it. TikTok has brought me some cool bands. So
TikTok is good. TikTok is probably the best thing that's happened to our society in a long time. True.
I know.
Yep.
God is good.
God is good.
So this next band come from the island of Australia, and they're called Clowns. We've talked about them many times on the pod. We talked about a couple weeks ago. They put out a single a couple weeks ago, and just this week as well. This new one is called Bisexual Awakening. I think the new record comes out in September. This is a band I've been following for years. I heard about these guys on the Punk News podcast. Ricky Frankel brought them to the podcast years ago. And they're just a good hardcore band, hardcore kind of metal band. And this song's good. I did like this one a lot. The last one, Formaldehyde, I thought was a better song, but this one was solid. So I'm excited for the new record. Definitely.
This is like when we talk about really good like filler. Like this is like really, really good filler. And you need really good filler. Like not everything's gonna be a banger, right? But like a really good filler track, like makes or break albums.
You're right.
This is good. This is really good filler.
That's what this song is. Yes. So get into that. Go check it out. This next one comes from our boys in Bullets and Octane.
Dude.
It's called Drunk Pirates Holiday. So their last song I actually really liked. Their last new song was really good. This one is trash. This is
a joke. This can't be.
This is embarrassing.
Real.
This is embarrassing.
It starts off with a song they've already done.
Yeah,
that's how Pirates. They start this fucking song, and then they incorporate that song again later on in the chorus.
Yes,
like this has got to be a joke.
The chorus is just, it's terrible. The lyrics are horrendous. It's just not a good song. It's not a good song. Did you watch the video?
No.
Oh my god! See, I heard the song and watched the video for the first time, and watching it and hearing it at the same time was just, oh my god, dude, it's bad.
He's still shirtless?
Bad. No, he's not shirtless. No,
That's
he's
good.
not.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, it's not a good song. But go check it out. Let us know what you think.
The song's terrible, dude. The song is awful.
Yeah, I know. So these next two songs I just put on here because they kind of showed up in my new releases, and I thought they were pretty cool. And Boris, I've talked about on the podcast before. They're these, I think they're Japanese, and they put out like a lot of weird. Yeah, they put out a lot of different styles of music, almost like King Gizzard, but not as prolific. And they put out a song called 1970, and I think this song was killer. I don't know how you felt about it, but
it was fine. It was fine.
I thought it was really good.
It was fine.
So go check that one out. They're a cool band. If you read about them, they have a kind of a cool little history, and I just like how they just don't care. They'll just kind of make music when they want, however they want. They don't have like any sort of agenda or anything like that. So they're cool. Boris, check them out. And this last one was kind of the same thing. It was on my new releases, and I liked it. It's from a band called Wild Fuzz Trip. Yeah, Wild Fuzz Trip. The song is called Jimbo Stone. It's like a 13-minute song. They don't have very many songs on Spotify. Or they have one album, I think, and then just random singles. But it's kind of a very fuzzy sounding song. I liked it. I thought you might like it, so that's why I put it on here too.
I like this one definitely more than the Boris song. And this was good. I like that they're just drawing this out. I mean,
yeah,
you need a good riff.
Good drawn out song.
If you can get a good riff, then you can make a 10-minute, dark, heavy-ass fuzz song, and that's fine. And this one had a good riff.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. It was cool.
Exactly.
I love it.
So
it was cool.
Cool artwork, too. Really cool artwork. So, yeah, Wild Fuzz Trip. Check it out in the playlist in the description of the podcast. It's called Jimbo Stone. And that's all I got for new music. You got anything else?
That's it. That's all.
All right. So one last thing before we wrap it up. Our boy Tom DeLonge, now that he's back sponsored by Fender Guitars, they are re-releasing his signature Stratocaster. So I think they're doing the Seafoam Green and then the yellow. So they're going to start popping up on, I think they already popped up on Sweetwater Music or something like that. And then he's been passing out free guitars at the last 5 Blink shows to random people in the audience. So yeah, it's incoming. If you're interested, you can get a custom, not a custom, but signature Tom DeLonge model, which hasn't been done, I think, since 2001.
Thank God. So, I'm tired of those fucking big ass guitars. I don't like any kind of big guitar. Just don't like them.
I liked his Gibsons. I did like those. The Starcaster is really cool too. The new one he has, the Starcaster looks rad. It does, dude. It does. But yeah, Stratocasters, get into it. I love my Stratocators. I love my Stratocaster.
I like that you have that Strat also. It should have been mine, but that's fine.
Well, no, you didn't jump on it.
Well, I didn't know, so.
Bullshit, you didn't know.
I did know. He never said he was going to sell it. He said he was going to at some point, and all of a sudden I go back, and it's like it's gone. Oh, you cool. Tyler bought it. Knowing that every time I go to fucking his house, I play it every single time. It's almost like he did it out of spite.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't do that out of spite.
I play at Ryan's house. I played that more than you ever did. He knew that. He knew I liked that guitar.
Yeah, possibly.
And he still didn't tell me that he was going to get rid of it. He did. He said, "Oh, but it was one of those things like, yeah, I'd sell it. Yeah, sure." But never. Then I go back.
It was gone. It also wasn't Ryan's. It was his dad's.
Well, yeah, Ryan's dad. I played it for Ryan's dad, in front of Ryan's dad, with Ryan's dad. He knew I liked playing it. He knew I liked that guitar. Same with the Ampex too. Same with the bass amps and his bass guitar.
Damn, those Ampex were so loud.
I played all of it.
Yeah, I remember.
He knew. He knew. I loved all that stuff, and he got rid of it. Went behind my back.
Well, he didn't go behind your back. Come on, dude. Come on.
He did.
I think he paid like $300 for it too.
He never told me that he was serious about selling. It was always like, yeah, I would sell it, sure, yeah. But that was never a serious thing. And I asked him for years. It wasn't like the first time I asked him and then like it was gone. No, I asked him for years. Like, dude, I love this guitar. Like, let me know when you want to sell it. Oh, I might sell it one day. Gone.
Well, it's not gone. It's actually right next to me right now. I actually brought the guitar over where I live right now, so I do have it in the room.
That's right.
Anyway.
That's okay.
0-2.
You win some, you lose some, I guess.
Yeah, you do. So that's all I got for the podcast. Stay tuned for the main episode because we're getting into NWA and their record Straight Outta Compton. And thank you all for listening. And that's it. That's all.
Turbo